Good evening, humans. Tyrannosaurusmoth here, and tonight we're taking a look at the SH Figuarts Shinkocchou Seihou Kyoryu Red figure from Bandai. Let's do this. Aesthetically speaking, this figure looks beautiful, and yeah, just a lot of really good stuff here. I will say, not as seamless as the original release, which I do have here. So people are going to have their preferences, and you know, I think it's either they're both gorgeous figures. This, I think the proportions are just a little more realistic, but you know, obviously there are a lot of seams here for the articulation where they were hidden a little bit more on the original release. So depending on what you prefer, it might depend on what you want to track down. But that aside, we really do get some really nice work here with a nice shade of red, nice bright yellows, very brilliant silvers going on here. You can see nice clear T-Rex symbol here on the left side of the chest. Then we get the morpher, the changer down here, done very nicely, very crisp work all around, all the way to the back of the figure, of course. And then we get some nice gloss to the helmet itself. Definitely has that kind of realistic look to it, kind of how it looks in the show. So really fantastic work there. Just cuts a nice silhouette. I will say that the tops of the delts, the way they handled the articulation here, these are kind of rubbery. They stick out a lot. It's a little hard to kind of get them to kind of calm down, especially after you've brought the arms up. So that's a little unfortunate, because as you can see, like, those are definitely kind of sticking out there. Definitely not an issue on the original one. So that is worth considering, I think. Yeah, especially because at least when I found the original one, it was still going for a good price. But here, you know, overall things do look good, but that is definitely kind of a little bit of a sticking point, I think, for me, especially now as I'm trying to get them to kind of rest a little bit here on camera. But still, overall, very, very nice. Again, I do really like the proportions. I don't mind the articulation cuts. I mean, just because a lot of figures I have that. Not only that, but it contributes to the range, which we'll look at in a bit. But overall, just, yeah, a really cool looking figure. We get a killer load of accessories here, so let's jump right in. And for hands, which we have a plethora of, we get some fists right out of the box. We get a pair of sword gripping hands, a pair of gun gripping hands, a pair of kind of flatter gripping hands / cupping hands. Get a pair of martial arts posed hands, kind of a tiger claw sort of situation. Get a pair of more relaxed hands. And then finally a pair of splayed out hands. And then beyond that, we do get his saber, and done beautifully. This is a lot better than that original release, because you get this nice deep gold going on. Really lots of great details there with the paint, and it does open up, as you can see here. So you can see there, and you get a compartment there for one of the accessories we're going to talk about in a second. Then we get these two pieces. So we do get his blaster. Again, just like loaded with details, especially with that paint. Just fantastic job all around. The cylinder here does rotate as well. It's a nice addition. So really cool stuff. You can see there's also a port in there for the accessory we're going to talk about in a minute. And then we do get this piece that adds onto the front. I have not seen the show yet, so pardon me not getting the names here. But as you can see, there are some ports there, and these do combine. If I can do this on camera. Probably not. I do not want to break it, obviously. But they do fit together. And yeah, I'm not going to actually attempt that on camera. So but these do go together, as they do in the show. And then finally, we get the Judenshi with some amazing detail. My eyes can barely pick up all of this. Amazing that they got it at this scale. And again, this does slot into both the sword and the blaster. So that will do it for accessories. Articulation balance here are excellent. As you can see, we can get our freestanding kicks, though this is kind of for a limited time. It has fallen over a couple of times, but it does hold that kick, so that's awesome. Getting into the finer points, we do have a ball joint here at the head, separate neck piece. So you get all the up, absolutely fantastic. All the down, beautiful. All the tilt, all the rotation, just good stuff all around. This shoulder piece, I do like this better on the original where it was just a hinge. Here it's actually a ball joint, so it kind of moves out of the way a little bit, but it comes off very, very easily. So you can see that slot, and there's just a little ball joint right there. So it definitely works, but you got to be careful with it because that could very easily get lost. Then we get down to the shoulders. We do have a kind of butterfly joint, kind of a floating piece right here. And then we have a joint coming out into the arm. And that's what that delt piece kind of gets out of the way of. So you can see, despite what I was saying earlier, if you bring the arm down, it definitely lays more naturally. If you bring it up, you're going to see that gap. So you got to be very conscious of where you have it, but you also get a little bit of front and back, not a ton, definitely more up and down. So you can see that moves with the arm. That does allow us to get a T, not the most beautiful looking, but it is there. We get, again, that forward and back. We get that rotation at the bicep with the bicep cut. Double jointed elbows bring us to there. We do have a hinge swivel here at the wrist to get anywhere we want to go. There's lots of room there as well, so you can get some pretty deep poses. Then we get ball joint at the diaphragm, ball joint at the waist, giving us that much crunch, much better than the original. Oh, there was that shoulder again. We get some decent arch back, get some nice side to side. We get some rotation from both those joints as well. For the hips, no drop downs, but we come out almost to full splits, absolutely beautiful. Front kick, full on 90, perfect. We do get thigh swivel, as you can see there. Double jointed knees bring us to there. And then no boot cut, but we do get rotation here at the ankle. We get some very nice point with all that room. Get a little bit of forward, get tons of rocker, and then a toe hinge. So that'll do it for articulation. Getting into size comparisons, here he is with some other SH Figuarts. With some domestics. With some imports. With some monsters. Finally with articulate icons Oni and yours truly in human form as a Valorous Action Force figure. So my final thoughts on the SH Figuarts Shinkocchou Seihou Kyoryu red figure from Bandai is that this is a really solid figure. Some fantastic accessories, some really nice aesthetics, some really fun articulation. And as I had said before, I can definitely see some preferring the original release in terms of the more kind of seamless integration of that articulation and the aesthetics. However, you definitely get a lot more range here, and there are definitely quirks here as well with the shoulder pad popping off and the weirdness with the delt pads up here. Again, you definitely have to kind of work with it. The more I've played around with it, the more I've kind of posed it, the easier it's come to it. The easier it has become, pardon me, to really kind of set it up and make it look nice. So it does take some work. So if you're willing to put that little bit of work in, and you know that you missed out on that original release, this is absolutely something you should pick up. If not, it might be an easy pass. But yeah, I recommend it, just kind of bottom line. And this is available from various online resources, so I'll have a link or two in the description below to where you can find yours. So that being said, I hope you found this review informative and somewhat entertaining, and if you did, I hope to see you back, because I do multiple reviews a week of action figures related to tokusatsu, dinosaurs, monsters, pro wrestling, and more. So if any of that appeals to you, come on back. Let's just escape the world for a while, talk about some nice plastic. But at the end of the day, I just hope you're well. I hope that all of your toy dreams come true, and most importantly, I hope that you and yours stay weird, simians.